Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, Walmart's working on a new Google TV streaming player. We'll tell you what you need to know about this new and very affordable streaming player. Samsung TV Plus has given us a good look into the growth of free ad-supported streaming services as millions of people use this service, even though it's not widely available. And YouTube continue its dominance, this time in the world of sports. We'll tell you why this is bad news for ESPN and cable all over. These stories and a whole lot coming up in a quick second. First though, hey, you're probably going to hear some banging today in the background. I apologize. I'm having a new roof. I'm actually recording this one from home. I'm having a new roof put on. I apologize about the background noise here. With that said, if you want to find a story that we talk about, you can find a link to each one in the show notes and in the first pinned comment. If you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people. With that said, let's dive into it. So Walmart has found great success recently with its Google TV powered devices. It's on streaming players. They're very budget friendly for the performance, and Walmart's been selling them very strongly recently. Now they are reportedly working on a new one, according to reports first by 91 Mobiles, and then later with additional details by AFTV News. Now with this, it appears to be a $30 to $40 streaming player that's going to fall somewhere in the middle between the current 4K Google TV at about $20 and the Pro, which is almost $50. I suspect that this is an upgraded version of the current 4K streaming player that will be slightly more expensive with slightly improved performance, with a multi-core processor on here that will really help with it. Now, it's a quad-core processor at 2.51 gigahertz, coupled with an ARM GPU and 2 gigabytes of RAM, of course running the Google TV OS on it. This will likely be called the ON 4K Plus, which will be a step down from the Pro, which is their high-end $50 device, but a step up from the ON 4K device, which will be at $20. The $30 to $40 price point seems about right. Again, I suspect that this is likely going to replace the current 4K version. I struggle to see Walmart justifying 3 4K streaming players within $30 of each other. They would have a ON 4K at $20. Let's say this is at $35 for the Plus and then $50 for the Pro. Maybe it's $15 spread, maybe not. We'll see. But I just think if I was a business person doing this, I would do it differently. Overall, I think it's very interesting to see them move into more streaming. Now, they used to do a lot of Roku branded, and they still do some Roku branded stuff, but they've been heavily leaning into, at least for stream players, Google TV. Now, though, they do offer a lot of Roku branded on smart TVs, where you can buy a on-branded Roku TV, and they're pretty impressive for the price point. They are definitely lower end ones than some of the others on the market, but they're really targeting the idea that these are super budget friendly TVs. But for the Google TV streaming players, they're budget friendly, but there's still impressive performance out there, though they may not live up to the more expensive flagship devices you're seeing on the market from other people. With that said, let's keep moving along. Let me know, do you own a Google on TV streaming player? Do you like it? I've reviewed several, been very pleased. All right, Samsung TV Plus, their free ad-supported streaming service, has come out and announced they've hit 88 million users, as cord cutters and everybody seems to be shifting to these free ad-supported streaming services. Now, this is available on Android and a few other devices, iOS, but it's mostly being pushed to Samsung TV owners. We talked about this recently, that as TVs keep coming to be cheaper and cheaper, the profit margins are shrinking, and TV companies have been turning to launching ad-supported streaming services and ads on the OS and the like to earn revenue to offset these cheap, let's be honest, very cheap prices from when they first launched like 10, 15 years ago, flat screen TVs. Actually, maybe 15, 20. Wow, time flies. To offset the losses in revenue, they've started to put ads and launch ad-supported streaming services. It's impressive to see 88 million users on here. As part of that, you see this shift. A lot of people are cutting back on their paid services and supplementing with free ad-supported ones like Pluto TV, the Roku channel, and others. These ones, you got TCL Plus, Vizio has one, of course Roku has their Roku one, Amazon has Freevee, the list goes on, are being seen as a way to generate revenue to help keep profits high in a time where price points on TV and streaming players are more important than ever. We just talked about the Walmart branded streaming players starting at $20 for a 4K streaming player with decent specs. You can see why the pressure has been coming there. But let me know, do you use free ad-supported streaming services? The great thing is they're free, even though there's a lot of them. You can try them out. They all seem to have something special about them that's a little bit different. In our next story up, speaking of free services, YouTube is dominating the world of sports news while cable viewership plummets. Now, this is a new study out there from the State of Sports Media Report by Harker Bros Group, Crown React Media. That's a mouthful of a name there. According to them, they say that 90% of sports fans use YouTube to get some sports content from news, highlights, and analysis on YouTube. This comes as social media continues to grow its dominance as cable industries see their viewership drop 11% compared to the same period last year. Facebook was in second at 71%, followed by Instagram at 60%, TikTok at 49%. Now again, these numbers don't add up to 100% because people use multiple ways to get their sports. I have several sporting teams I follow on Facebook. I also go on YouTube and watch highlights of recent games, news analysis, detailed scouting reports, and all kinds of stuff. I know I'm a huge sports fan. I fit right into this. It's interesting, though, to see people moving away from ESPN. I can't remember the last time I watched SportsCenter. I watch ESPN for sporting events. I used to watch their college football shows, talk shows, SportsCenter. Kind of don't anymore. It's kind of become a thing of the past to me, as I can get exactly the sports I want to watch without having to sit through a long discussion about a sport or a team I don't care about. And that's the problem cable TV has, the difficultness of it being customized to you with it. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. But I know for me, this seems about right. My viewership of sports highlights and news and talk on TV has dropped from cable like channels like ESPN, but my use of like YouTube for that has grown. All right, if you're a fan of classic cartoons, MeTV Toons has announced an upcoming holiday special called 'Tis the Season for Toons. Every Saturday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central, they will launch a bunch of classic cartoons about the holidays. This will start November 2nd, and it'll be every Saturday. And start off with like a Flintstones Family Christmas, Cave Kids Christmas, a Flintstones Christmas Carol, and Christmas Flintstones, to name a few of them. On the 9th, it seems to be some Jetsons stuff, Cartoon All-Stars Christmas Edition, a Jetsons Christmas Carol, a Flintstones Christmas Carol, and more. These are just the two schedules for the first 2 weekends. This comes as MeTV Toons is leaning heavy into the season. Be interested to see all of them that they cover, but definitely leaning heavily into classic cartoons for the upcoming season with that. Let me know. Are you a big fan of MeTV Toons? Leave me a comment. All right, a new analyst has come out and said that Amazon's new home internet service could generate $26 billion in revenue, but they still face significant hurdles getting the service off the ground. They were supposed to start launching satellites this year for the actual production usage. That's been delayed to next year as launch problems continue to plague the service with multiple delays. Amazon's really hoping this will help them to diversify their income source. And it may just do that, but they first need to get the service off the ground. For now, it seems to be an open question on how successful this service will be. There's a lot of pitfalls ahead of them, as they'll need to spend a ton of money before they start seeing this revenue come in. All right, lastly, speaking of free channels, the new free sports-focused streaming service called FLS, or Free Live Sports. Free Live Sports is the name of the service, abbreviated FLS. Added 7 new channels, including Outdoor America, Ace TV, Sports Talk, Wired to Fish, and more. This joins an already bunch of existing free channels streaming on the service about cornhole, boxing, cricket, billiards, esports, poker, fishing, motorsports, soccer, and more. This is a 24/7 sports-focused free streaming service exclusively dedicated to sports. Well, that's it for today. I hope you have a fantastic Tuesday. If you're watching this the day I post it. To everybody who has recently subscribed, thank you. If you haven't yet, please consider to hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us. Also, do you know I have a second YouTube channel where I review all kinds of tech products not related to cord cutting? The Breakdown with Luke, you can find a link to it in the show notes here, but just search YouTube for The Breakdown with Luke. You'll see my face there. It's a great channel. Would appreciate your support. We're almost to 31,000. I appreciate your support. We'll be back again with another video real soon.